Doing today on this fine Sunday evening here in Cali? It's almost 6 o'clock. East Coast, I know you're nearing 9 p.m. Thank you all for tuning in tonight. We have a serious topic to discuss. I talked about Romeca Meeks earlier this week, but there are some new updates in the case, and I wanted to discuss it with you all. And just really talk about everything that's been going on. It's been a one crazy week, and tonight we're diving into the heartbreaking case of Romeca, a young Chicago mom who was tragically unalived after a confrontation with her baby daddy and her. There you are, Joshua, first again. Thanks for always tuning in. Thanks for holding me down, Joshua. Um, we'll talk about what happened. I started talking about it last night, but I fell asleep. I'm gonna actually delete last night's live because I was super tired. But we'll talk about what happened, where the case stands now, and why so many people are demanding justice. So I encourage you all to talk about it. I know that this is close to home for a lot of us. In the live I did about this case earlier this week, I think it was Tuesday. You can check out that live, it's still up. Um, and I have my video camera on, so. But I just talked about really not so much about the case because it just happened, so I didn't know a lot about what was going on. I just know what was being reported. I know what I saw in the video, and the video was very damning. There was witnesses there on the scene demanding that Romeca's perpetrator be arrested, and they said they saw what happened, and blase blase. So since the incident occurred, there has been a lot. It has been a lot of upheaval on social media from Romeca's family, from the baby daddy Carlos's family. So we're going to get into all of that tonight, as well as Romeca's perpetrator Holly Johnson. She was actually released from jail, and no charges have been filed, which is I can't believe it. Why would they release Holly when there were witnesses who said they saw what happened? There has to be an explanation for this. So we're going to talk about that as well, because a lot of people are going back and forth about who dropped the child off, um, they're talking about who had the restraining order. It's a lot. If you go on Facebook, her family is defending her. His friend, if you type in her name, you'll find lots of videos that are out with Romeca, and they don't paint her in a positive light. Um, I get the feeling, from what I could ascertain, from what I saw, it was a toxic love triangle. It was some baby daddy, baby mama drama. That's what I could tell. Um, she had videos of him showing up at her house. He had videos of her showing up at his house. And I've been in a toxic relationship before, It didn't come to that, thank God. And I wasn't like this, but we did have some issues um, when I was young or whatever. I remember one time I was very young. Hey, M3. I'm updating you all on the Romeca Meets case. On Friday, I want to say, Romeca's aunt, came on social media, and she said a lot of people are saying that Holly has been released. She is still in there. That's a lie. Don't believe what you heard. She is still in there. But apparently the family did not know that. Romeca's perpetrator, and I'm using code words, guys, because I don't want to piss off YouTube, but apparently she had been released and she has not been charged. Now, that leads me to believe that the police have other evidence outside of witness testimony. They have to have some other evidence outside of witness testimony because a witness on the scene says that here's a news report. Let me play it for you guys. Let me turn it up. Let me see. And Neek at Night, she did an incredible job talking about the story. She did an excellent job. Neek is always good, though, when it comes to breaking down stories.
Truth from fiction entirely.
Okay.
Because most of what you know about me is based in truth.
That's an ad, so once the ad finishes playing, I'll turn it back up. So, yeah. But if you didn't get a chance to watch my live about Romeca Meeks' case, be sure to go back into my live playlist, and you'll see it there. I think it's a worthwhile conversation and a discussion that every woman should listen to, especially if you are currently involved with someone and they have involved someone else into your relationship, even if it's a man. Like, I talked about this on Tuesday when I believe it was Tuesday. I'm sure that it was Tuesday. How when I was married, I was kind of involved in the love triangle. And I told my husband at the time, I said, things like this don't end well. They never end well. So you have to be very careful when you're playing with somebody's heart, when you're playing with people's emotions. In some of the videos, Romeca looked very angry, very hurt. Like I said, TD Jake said, when you play with somebody's heart, when you send somebody through that type of stuff, that can make them mentally ill. And Romeca said, all you do is lie. You need to tell the truth. You need to tell me the truth. And that let me know that he had probably been playing both women. Right? So, men, don't do that. Don't do that. If you don't love somebody, let them go. Let them go. It's far better. My mother used to say this. She said, if you don't want me, let me know. I'd rather you not deal with me than to lead me on as if there is hope and play with my mind. Because if you leave me alone, I can move on. Here's the story. Okay.
Are expressed on this board for 31-year-old Romeca Meeks-Blackmon.
I am broken. I am so broken.
Surrounded by family and overwhelmed by grief, Tina McMiller says she's heartbroken after losing her daughter to gun violence. Friday night, many gathered in Inglewood to remember a woman who was loved by many.
The love she showed everybody. Y'all showed it all.
On Monday, Meeks-Blackmon had just dropped off her son at school near Cermak Road and State Street when police say the victim was involved in a physical altercation with another person. The offender then took out a gun and fired it, hitting Meeks-Blackmon in the face. She was rushed to Stroger Hospital, where she died.
I ask that you give us strength. Give us strength, Father, for every one of us, because we're going to need it in this moment.
Hundreds of pink, white, and silver balloons sit outside of Inglewood STEM High School. Her mother said she was a kind, loving, and sweet mother. Now she's left with raising her grandson.
I need y'all to pray for my baby. Yeah, we will. We got him. He's shutting down. He has shut down. He don't want to be around nobody.
Chicago police say the person taken into custody after the fatal shooting has been released without charges. Her family is eagerly seeking justice. Romeca, also known as Big Meeks, was soon released among thousands of other balloons. Reporting in Inglewood, Sade Gray, CBS News, Chicago.
What is the most important takeaway for all?
There was a lot of people at her vigil. A lot of people, a lot of balloons released. I don't understand why Holly Johnson, the one who fatally shot Romeca, has been released. Hey mom, thanks for tuning in. Blessings to you, honey. Blessings to you, mom. Thanks for tuning in and supporting me. I just don't understand why they released her. Especially with the witnesses there. You're welcome, mom. And the witnesses saying, hey, I saw what happened. I saw the baby daddy actually put Romeca in a headlock, and I watched the baby mama go to her car and get something and come back and do this. So I don't know. I appreciate you all for hitting the like button when you come in and commenting. It is crazy, M3. Just a backstory on Romeca. She was a 31-year-old mother. She was a manager at McDonald's, and she was going to school for nursing, according to her family. If you look at her social media, she was a beautiful chocolate black girl. She kept herself up nice. On the day she passed, she had written the sweetest letter to her son. It was as if she knew, that something was going to happen to her. And that's the last thing she was able to tell her son. And that's something that he would be able to remember her by. On the last day of her life, she actually wrote a letter to her son and took it up to the school with his lunch. And that it just tugs at your heart, because here her son is at school and he comes home and this has happened right outside the school. And you heard the grandmother, she said he has shut down. And I really want to be sensitive because I know that the family, all of this stuff is on social media, and whatever side you're on, whoever is right or wrong, we don't know. I'm quite sure, or I'm hoping, and her family is hoping, that investigators will get down to the bottom of this story. No matter what, unaliving someone, especially in front of a school, is uncalled for. Absolutely. Absolutely. And with him being a man and him being there, why didn't you guys just get in your car and leave? That's what I don't understand. And if there was a big issue, because the reports are saying that it was actually Holly, the perpetrator, that had the restraining order against Romeca. So if you had a restraining order against her, if you guys had been engaged in fisticuffs before, why not? Why would you even go up to the school where her child is at? Why even go up there? Why even put yourself a part of it? And that's exactly what I was talking about going back to Tuesday in my initial commentary on this issue. Why would you put yourself in the middle of a relationship, of if they're going through drama, if she hasn't moved on, or you don't know what's going on? And I understand you being in love with somebody and you wanting to be with them. Holly has a child by Carlos, the baby daddy, as well. So I can understand. And who knows what he was telling her. I got your back. Don't worry. I'm not going to let nothing happen to you. And the family requested that social media to quit posting her right on the ground. Right. In the first few days, I hadn't come across that. But the person that initially witnessed it, she posted it on social media. And that's how I got around, because she recorded it and posted it. That initial person, she still has it up. It's still on Facebook. And I don't know why people record things like that. But at the same time, that witness was able to record things as they were happening live. So, and that's why I said I want to be sensitive, Mom, because, remember when Marcus passed away and people were reposting news articles and things like that? People who were supposed to be friends of the family. I don't know why they would do that. So, I didn't really want to get into all of the videos. If you guys want to go search Romeca Meeks on Facebook, you will see a lot more there. But I wasn't going to replay it here just to be sensitive, because here's the thing. When somebody passes away, they're not here to defend themselves. They're not here to say exactly what happened. Mom, I don't know if the new baby mama was jealous or afraid. I just know that baby daddy was in the middle of it. And you know how that can go with these young guys. Some of these guys, and I said this before, some of these guys are narcissistic and they like seeing two women fight over them. They don't think about their children who need them. They don't think about the fact that they want to be able to see their kids grow up and be able to be around each other. Because if they rather go back and forth between two women and have the two women fighting over them. And then most of the people that are posting don't really know what happened. Exactly. They don't. And they're posting old videos. I think they were saying that Carlos, the baby daddy, he was sending videos that he recorded of Romeca during their arguments. And he posted that. He posted videos of the son. It's just a lot. It's a lot. And the family, to their credit, weren't even blaming him for it. The rest of everybody else was like, it's the baby daddy. He needs to be in jail. I hope they get to the truth as well, Joyce. I do. I hope they get to the bottom of it. Someone has lost their life. And I don't think that, I understand. And this is what people don't get. They be like, oh, why did they let her out? Because if they don't have the evidence, or the evidence doesn't show what the witnesses are saying, because in this day and age, there are cameras everywhere. No, he's not even thinking about his son's feelings. And the grandma just said in the clip I just played that he's shut down. He don't even want to talk to nobody. He's 7 years old. Poor kid. And now they're saying that the father is in hiding, afraid, as you should be, because you could have handled it better than that. If Romeca was still in her feelings and still hadn't got over things, because sometimes that happens. Sometimes you have that first baby mama, and that first baby mama be holding on because she has your first child. She's holding on to the promises you made to her, and she's holding on to the love you guys shared. And it's like, okay, somebody else is coming along and, dancing on her turf. So that's not always easy. Maybe the cameras didn't see what the witness seen. The cameras don't mean nothing. And I know that from my attorney a long time ago. Because somebody said, oh, that wasn't on the camera. And my attorney was like, so? It don't matter. The camera don't see everything. The camera can't catch everything. It don't matter. Maybe the cameras didn't see it. Or perhaps there was one witness who posted her point of view. And she's one of the ones that posted Romeca fighting for her life on the ground. But there was also other people there. So maybe according to the footage that they had, because Mom, it doesn't matter if the cameras didn't catch everything. If the witnesses are saying one thing, because the witnesses, and that's why people shouldn't talk. If you're a witness to an important case like this, and I hope anybody who's listening, I hope you don't never have to witness such a tragic event. But if you are a witness and somebody's freedom is on the line and justice is on the line, then you shouldn't be on social media talking and saying this and that. Because if you get on social media and start saying something, when it comes time for the trial, they can't use you. You're a compromised witness. Because when it comes to defending a uh, a client, those attorneys, a criminal attorney is not about to play with you. They're going to come out swinging for their clients. That's their job. That is their job, to make sure that they do everything possible. They're going to play dirty. They're going to use every trick in the book that they can legally. And if you were out telling your story, if you got paid for it, if you went to blogs, if you have like a past that is criminal, and maybe you weren't as trustworthy, they're going to use all of that. They're going to use, if you gave your testimony before the case even made it to trial, then that's going to come into question when you go to court. So be quiet. It doesn't matter. You might want to speak out or whatever, but don't do that. The only people that you should be speaking to is the detectives and any attorneys that come and ask you something as far as what you witnessed. It was more than one witness said that he had her in a headlock and it was holding her up against the car on the driver's side. I saw that too. I could hear them on the video. They were saying he had her in a headlock. He had her in a headlock, but they still didn't arrest him that day. They barely wanted to arrest her, and she was like, "I have a concealed carry license and I have a restraining order against her." But they both waited there. That was what was always so odd to me. Why would they wait there if they knew what they did? Like, why were you waiting around? Like, I would have thought they would have got in the car and booked it. So, but yes, I heard a man say he was holding her and he had her in a headlock, and the woman said no. She put the pew. She put it back in the car, so they felt like they were innocent, right? And so that's, you know, I have a legal background, so when I think about things, I think about them from all sides and all angles. Just from my former career, and just what I've learned about human behavior. They didn't leave because they thought they didn't do anything wrong. Even though the witnesses was there and all of that, they didn't think they had done anything wrong. And if they had nefarious intentions, they would have left, is my thinking. Now, just because they didn't think they did anything wrong, that doesn't mean that they didn't do anything wrong, right? But with there being witness testimony, I could see if it was just them defending themselves and they didn't have any witnesses on the scene, but they had witnesses saying something, and they weren't denying that the incident took place. From what I seen, she didn't say, "I didn't do it," or she didn't say, "I was defending myself." The baby daddy did say it was self-defense. It was self-defense. But he had Romeca's blood literally on his hands. And again, if there had been an issue with Romeca and the new baby mama, if they had been into it, why would you be at that girl's son's school? That's like you're fanning the flames, right? That's the way I feel. Like, if I had an issue with somebody, don't bring them nowhere around me. If this your new bitch, don't bring her to my kid's birthday party. I don't even want to see her. Because if he hadn't had anything to do with her, Romeca, if they had been done, then she wouldn't still feel that way. She might not like the girl, right? Because I'm a woman. And I might not like the new woman, or I might have my feelings about her. I might not be buddy-buddy with her. But if I'm done with you and I have moved on, if it's been a couple of years, I'm not going to still, even if I was mad at you before, even if my boyfriend cheated with another woman and they're still together, 2-3 years pass, I don't care. 6 months is still fresh. If me and you still had dealings 6 months ago, even a year, when it comes to women, it's still fresh, especially if me and you were together and you started seeing somebody else behind my back and I found out about it. Because it's my thinking that she didn't know that this girl was having a baby and she happened to find it out. Right, self-defense from a tussle. That's ludicrous, right? A lot of people think he was playing both sides, M3. You know, a lot of people think that. But the one girl said what, Joyce? I feel like a man should be a man. And he should handle his business accordingly. If you're with somebody, it's not working out. And I also feel like this. I've been in relationships before that didn't work out. But don't throw it up in my face. Don't just act like you never care. Like, I don't want to see you, like, say if in this new age, right? New age, people post their new girlfriend or boyfriends on social media. I don't want to see you. If I just broke up with you today, next month, I don't want to see you posting no bitch on your Facebook. Sorry, y'all. I get a little triggered. But I don't want to see that. I don't want none of my friends coming to tell me they seen you and so at the mall. You better lay low. You better lay low. Act like we still together to give me some time. Especially if we have a child together, especially if we were close, especially if we lived together and we had some dealings together. Romeca and this man, they had been together 2 years before she even had a child. And the child is 7 years old. So they have a 9-year history of probably going back and forth and whatnot. The specifics of that, I really don't know. But I do know in one of the videos, Romeca was highly upset. And she said, why would you keep lying? All you do is lie. So that lets me know that he hadn't told her, had been real with her. Maybe she suspected, maybe she heard about, but she didn't know. No, she didn't have. They didn't say she had a weapon. Oh, you think because he thought they were going to get away with it, like he would just say, "Oh, it was self-defense," right? He was angry with her, yeah, because she had videos, and she had said she was tired of being afraid of him. She said she was tired of being afraid of him. That's what she said. I'm tired of being afraid of him. She has sent that text message to her, one of her family members. And if it was the other way around, I don't know. It's just a lot. It's a lot to it. Because, again, like I said, there was a lot of different videos. And it was just really like a toxic situation on his behalf and also on Romeca's behalf. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, let's continue to deep dive on this case. And if you just came in, welcome. We're discussing the Romeca Meeks case, and also if justice will prevail in this case. It appears that Holly Johnson, the person who fatally shot Romeca, has been released from jail, and at this time, there have been no charges filed. He was still trying to talk to her. He would show up at her house. Like, they would go back and forth. You know how that goes. You know how that goes. I know how it goes. Shoot. I told you guys before, I divorced my husband and we still were talking about getting married again. He still was sniffing up my tail. Okay? Right. Everyone who is watching is welcome to engage and let's talk about it. I think that it's important to talk about this because situations like this keep happening. Just this month alone, M3, you talked about it, how how your ex in his new relationship, you talked about the toxicity of that and the things that you've been through with him. M3 just had a good live about relationships and when to leave and how to know when it's over or when it's toxic and you should leave it alone. I think women need to realize that I know it's hard. I know it's hard, especially if you have a child with somebody. Once you build a life with somebody, you live with them, you slept with them, you sleep next to them, you felt like this was the one, right? And it's hard when it ends because you guys couldn't make it for whatever reason, right? But when there's another person involved, when there's another woman involved or another man, that kind of shapes you to your core because now you're not just dealing with heartbreak, you're dealing with rejection and you're dealing with anger because not only did your love affair, did the person you love leave, now they're going to go share what you feel belong to you with somebody else. I know that feeling. And it's a hurting feeling, right? It's a hurting feeling. And like I said, I would never do that to somebody. I would never be with somebody. I mean, I shouldn't be expected to wait forever till that person gets over it, right? If I tell somebody that I no longer want to be in a relationship for whatever reason, if they want to talk about it or whatever, we can try to work through it. But if I'm not invested in it anymore and I don't want to do it anymore, I'm a grown woman. If I say I don't want to do it no more, I don't want to do it no more. And I shouldn't be made to be felt guilty. I shouldn't be made to feel like I'm going to be harmed in some way or like you're going to stalk me. I shouldn't have to go get a restraining order. I should be able to move on with my life. Now, respectfully, like I said, I wouldn't just start, I broke up with you today and tomorrow I move somebody else in, or next week you see people me with somebody else on social media. That's like playing with somebody's emotions. And say whatever you want to say. You don't do that to people. Especially if you know somebody loves you and they hurt you. Have some empathy because you don't know what somebody might do when their feelings are on the line. I'm just going to keep it real. So that's why I just feel like women, I feel like we get the short of the stick the most when it comes to these type of relationships. So we have to do what we have to do to protect ourselves. Like, and women, when you see that somebody has a girlfriend or a baby mama and it looks like it's toxic, don't listen to that. Oh, I've been broke up with her for a long time. She just don't get it. She know I don't want her. Don't listen to all that. If there's another woman involved, even if he did break up with her, even if it is done, if she is still kicking up dust, why would you want that problem? He need to handle that. He probably was still trying to talk to her, but she was rejecting him and he couldn't deal with the rejection. That's what some people are saying. That's what some people are saying. But again, like I see that it looked like a little of that was going on both ends. Don't be flaunting the next person so soon. Exactly. Exactly. Do be discreet is what they call it. Be discreet. Like I said, I don't want to hear about nobody else. I don't want to see it. And I don't want none of my friends coming to tell me about, oh, I seen such and such with their new girlfriend. So, because I may not even be thinking about him, and it might be like 6 months down the line, but it might still hurt me to hear that. I know me. I love hard. And I ain't going to do nothing crazy over nobody. But I know what it feels like to be heartbroken. That's why I don't even let my heart get involved. I don't even get close to nobody like that. Like, y'all not, these guys ain't serious, no way. I'm too old for all that, for those kids' games. So If I see, like, this morning I prayed about it. I said, God, I know you have somebody for me. Maybe I'm not ready yet. Maybe I need to get myself together, honey. And I'm willing to wait for who you have for me, because I am not willing to go through no more mess with another joker. That's number one. And the guy who is for me, I'm going to know he's for me, because he's going to treat me like a queen and he's going to put me on a pedestal. And vice versa. I'm going to do the same for him. I'm going to treat him like my king, and we're going to love on each other. It's not going to be, oh, I got somebody else, or I'm separated, or that's just my baby mama. We just got a child together. It's not going to be any of that. He's going to be free and clear, because I'm free and clear. I date, but I'm not seeing anybody seriously. So, right, they're just trying to be messy. They're trying to hurt you. That's what I feel like. If somebody's bringing up somebody, I had somebody saying, oh, where's so-and-so at? Bitch, if I didn't bring them up, why you bringing them up? Excuse my language. But that's how I feel. Like, you didn't hear me bring them up. Hey, Smooth. Hi, bro. Happy Sunday. Thanks for tuning in. And please hit my like button, sir, when you come in. Please hit my like button, sir. Don't come trying to tell me, update me. I don't need any updates. First of all, we broke up. I know that. Second of all, I've already been stalking his Facebook page. I pretty much know what he's up to. Okay? He may have still been texting me. We may still, hey, how you doing? Oh, I see a new season of that show you like is back on. Or, oh, you still want your mail? Because you still got mail coming over here. I may have already seen him. He may still have a sock in my nightstand, okay? I don't need you to come telling me that this stuff. People just play too much with people's feelings. And that's why I don't play all that stuff. Don't be asking me about nobody. Don't update me about nobody. If I'm not speaking to about them and I'm not opening up the conversation, don't ask me about them. Because I'm getting over what I'm getting over. And no telling who came and told her things. No telling what they both are putting on Facebook. I mean, here he is. And again, if you broke up with somebody and it's been years or it's been a good amount of time, then you should be able to move on with your life. But now all of a sudden he's taking maternity pics with Romeca with his shirt off. And now he's on Facebook and social media with a new baby mama. Maternity pics. That hurts. That hurts. That stuff like that hurts. Right, Smooth. Smooth, you know what it's like to you know how you do your women, Smooth. I'm just playing. Smooth, let me ask you a question. The men in here and the ladies. How much time do you think is good enough to allow to pass after you break up before you start being seen in public with somebody else, right? Now, if you're just dating someone, and like me, for instance, like I date. I don't have any serious boyfriends or anything like that. I'm single. So if I want to go out to play bingo with somebody on Thursday, I never played bingo before, but I saw bingo coming to my town. I saw it somewhere. I think I'm going to start playing bingo. I'm bingo age. I'm almost 50. It's time for me to start playing bingo. If I want to go meet Mr. Charles at the bingo hall, I can do that on Thursday and on Friday. If I want to go golf with John, and on Saturday, if I want to go have barbecue with Keith, and on Sunday, if I want to meet Fred after church for some coffee at Starbucks, I can do that. I can do that if I want to. Right. The mom, the grandmother at first, no, for real, Smooth, I want to know, like, what's a good amount of time after you broke up with somebody before you can be seen with other people? And perhaps, like, if you get serious with somebody else, how much time should lapse between the relationships before you go social media public, right? Bingo is for 60 plus? I don't know. Everybody I knew who started playing bingo, they'd be like 40, 50. I don't know. I don't know. I'm still too young for bingo. All right. All right. 6 months to a year, Smooth? I think so. I think 6 months to a year. And again, like I said, if you're dating and you guys just go out, and when I say dating, I mean just dating. And this is why you shouldn't be smexing before marriage, because women are way different from men. If you start taking a woman to bed and if you start doing the mattress mambo with her, then she's going to get attached and she's going to get feelings involved. And if you know that you're not ready to settle down, don't do the settle down stuff. Because once you start messing with these women and they start catching feelings, they start spending the night. You guys are going away for 2 and 3 day vacations. She's seen sides of you that another woman that, whatever y'all got going on, you doing this and doing that to her, got her toes curling and all that. I'm just being for real. You start doing all that stuff, then it's like she ready for marriage. I know I would be. That's why I don't play those type of games. Don't even talk under my skirt. Don't ask me nothing like that. No, I don't want to spend the night. No, you can't spend the night for sure. We can go off coffee. We can talk. We can chit chat. We can text back and forth. We can talk till we fall asleep on the phone. But I'm not doing all that, because if I start doing all that, then I'm going to be your woman. And I don't want to hear about you with no other woman, because then it's a problem. Women are doing what almost immediately? Showing other men off on social media? You know what? Some women can be heartless. Ain't no chit-chat. It's chit-chatting. It's chit-chatting. Listen, if I'm not your wife, it's chit-chatting. I'm too old to be playing those type of games. And I'm going to tell you something. Men don't slow down. They don't stop playing games. The older they get, the more games they think they can play. And you're not about to play with me and my feelings and my emotions. I'm too old for that. And I ain't even that old, but I'm too old for that. I'm busy. I got stuff going on. I don't need all that. Don't be having me coming over and I got my toothbrush at your house, and then I come over there and I see some panties under your bed, or I'm over there spending the night and I see somebody else's picture, or you sneaking on the phone and you're in the bathroom and I done had some stuff go down. Okay? I done had some stuff go down with a guy. I remember a long time ago I was talking to this guy, and he lucky I'm not crazy. This was when I was in my 20s. Mama, if you still listening, you probably remember this about that little dork. I don't want to say what he really was. But we had been dating for like 6 months, right? So one day I'm at his house, and I look and I see a bag from the jewelry store. So he wasn't trying to hide at all. He wasn't even trying to hide it from me. Maybe we were talking for a couple of months and we stopped talking for a couple of months, and then we started talking again. Right? And when I went to his house, I saw a jewelry store bag. Y'all, tell me why I finally look around and I see a picture of another woman, and I see a bag from the jewelry store. He had got engaged and was still dealing with me. I wanted to knock his block off. Women do not play more. Stop being delusional, Smooth. That is not games. Now they won't even let you say smexing. They not letting y'all say nothing in the chat. Yes, he should have been glad someone wanted to talk to him. Right, you remember him? Am I toxic? Mama, am I toxic? I'm not toxic at all. And dating, no, Smooth, you get to date too. You're single now. Are you still single or did you find somebody out there? I am not toxic, mama. Mom, I'm about to I'm about to block you. You're about to get blocked on here. Stop playing. I am not toxic at all. And I have evolved and I am very, very mature. Okay? And reasonable and all of that. And I give guys a lot of leeway. Like I've dated about 3 different guys in the last couple of years. And only one of them was honest enough to say they're dating too. Okay. One of the guys, he was a weirdo, so he didn't really even count. Another guy was like, see, I don't want that. I don't want a woman that's seeing other men. I just want somebody just to be seeing me. I can't do all that. Okay. And so the other guy, he was younger than me. And he was like, so do you have a boyfriend or a husband? I was like, no, I date. He was like, yeah, I date too. I was like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. That was real cool. I'm glad he told me that because even if I don't date, listen, this is me right now. Even if I'm single as a dollar bill, I'm dating. I'm telling everybody I date so they can know all off top. I'm seeing other people or I will be seeing other people. So you got competition. If you're not married, you're single. Don't even get it caught up into that trap unless you get engaged. You get engaged, then you get married. If you don't want to get married, date and let them know that. You might meet somebody that you want to get married to, but always be honest. Don't, especially if you're 40 and 50, okay? You don't have time to waste and play games with people. Even if you're in your 30s, 20s are for boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. We're too old for all that boyfriend, girlfriend stuff. And that's how I talk to my daughters. I tell them, you date. You date. Don't let somebody be talking about they're your boyfriend or they're your man. I do everything for you anyway. So don't let these little snot-nosed boys come into your life talking about some, you gonna be my, what they calling what they calling them now, Smooth? My little ball. Whatever they calling these girls nowadays. Don't let nobody tell you that. What's up, Juicy? Thanks for tuning in, homegirl. What's good with you? My little don't. I was answering the question you asked before that. I wish you would try it. What question was I asking? Oh, you've been single since the first panel? You never told me what you did at the second, at the pajama party part 2. I want you to come up on the panel. I want to know what happened. Because you have some good stories to tell. But keep it PG, for real. That does not sound toxic. Put a 1 in the chat if dating sounds toxic. Yes, please hit the like button for me, y'all. Put a 1 in the chat if you feel like dating is toxic. If you feel like dating 2 or 3 different people at one time is toxic. You're not doing anything in the bedroom. You're just going out for dinners. Maybe you're going out and watching a ball game. Maybe you're going out to play pool, golf. Maybe you're going for a walk on the beach. You're getting to know each other, right? No big deal. You don't think it's a big deal either? Hey, Ann. Hi. Thanks for tuning in, Mom. Thanks for tuning in. I appreciate you. I didn't mean to say Mom. I was going to say Ma'am. But I didn't want to say Ma'am. And I was about to say Hon. So it came out as Mon. Oh, she was in the bushes the whole time? Was she in the bushes? She was listening the whole time? How the hell did that happen? I'm doing good, Ann. I'm doing good. You grown, Sister Panel? Yeah, right, Smooth. Yeah, right. I never got the whole details on that. I never got the whole details. All I know is you were broken up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, so tonight we're all talking about Romeca Meeks. I think I think her name is Romeca Blackmon. Her name is Romeca Blackmon, but I think they call her Big Meeks or Meeks. So she just went by Romeca Meeks, but her name is Romeca Blackmon. Um, Poor girl. Thanks, and I'm glad to see you here. I'm glad that you joined us. But my whole thing is just that human beings play too much. And men always say women play too much. Women are, when we love you, ain't nothing nobody could tell us about you. There's nothing you can really do to shake us off of you. And it take us a long time. But once we're done, we're done. Now, I think too that women play as many games as they're able to, right? I thought they said something about the week of the 21st. And another thing, you was hollering at Jazzy and got busted on the panel. Well, that's what you get. Serves you right. What's love got to do with it? That's why I said date. That's why I said date. Smooth. I think I saw you hollering at somebody. I thought you was hollering at Snacks. And I know they be on you too, Jazzy. So he probably was. He might have been trying to get with you and you wasn't catching it because Jazzy, you be having them all on you. Your milkshake brings the boys to the yard. There's no telling how many was on you. And he probably was just one of a few. But do you see why I say date? Oh, you wasn't shooting no shots? Oh, okay. Oh, you wasn't. But that's why I say date. You know, now that you're single, just date. And let everybody know that, well, I'm single. I'm a single father. And now, I'm just, getting to know people. I don't have anything serious going on. And like I said, even if you're not dating people, it's ladies, until you got a ring on your finger, you are single. You are single. Until you got a ring on your finger, you are single. So don't let nobody come running on game on you. All right? And unless he got an empty house, he don't have a ring on his finger, he don't have to explain anything to a woman, he don't have a baby mama that's gonna come around clowning you. Look, I'm gonna be real with y'all. He said, I'm only dating my paycheck. I know that's right, Smooth. They don't like to hear that. They like to say you a player if you tell them you're dating. Right. Men like to say that women are being 304s, right? They'll say that about us if we date. But then they want to tell us, we're not serious. I told you that. I told you I wasn't looking for anything serious. They can do it, but we can't. Right, and I don't want to stay single forever. I'm cool to be single right now. Like, I'll be like, oh, I want a relationship, or oh, I want some male friends. I'll think like that, just because, you go through those motions. But when I think about it, I'll be like, oh, hell no. I'm cool. Like, The way my life is set up right now, the freedom I have, I don't answer to anybody. I don't have to worry about pleasing anybody. My time is my time. I have time to share with my kids. I don't have to divide myself up in a million different directions. I am cool. They think we're giving it up to anyone. I don't even if you're not, they know you're not giving it up to anybody. Even if they know M3 that you're not that type of woman, it's like they don't want that competition. They know that if you're dating more than one man, then they have to compete. They have to step up their game a little more. Like they can't give the bare minimum. That's what they know. Oh, and they don't like, like even lions. Think about the lion pride. When a lion comes and takes over a pride, he gets rid of any males that were there before him because he knows he'll have to compete with them one day. Or that son, if, the lioness has any sons, he knows that because he's not their father, that son may come back and challenge him one day. So a man may feel like, okay, you have other people that you're seeing. I can't just McDonald's Happy Meal you. I gotta pull out all the stops because you have suitors, right? And that's why I say, tell them you got suitors even if you don't. Let them know you're a high commodity. You're not an easy win by any means at all. Women are players. We should take accountability more. Stop it, Smooth. Why not date multiple people? This is why you date multiple people, Smooth. Number one, if you're dating multiple people, then you get the opportunity to get to know different people and you get to the ability to really decide what you like. If you date one person, then you have nobody else to compare them to, and you don't, you might, if you're dating one person and things don't work out, then it's harder for you to move on, right? Because you've invested all your time in that person. But when you date different people, you're not really emotionally invested in anybody, and you're just getting to know them, and then you can say to yourself, okay, I like Derek. He's funny, he's cute, he's always sweet, he's handsome, I'm more attracted to him. And you can get to decide for yourself who you would rather spend more time with, right? And also, if it doesn't work out, then you got two more spares. Really, you got two more people that can pull up the slack, right? And like I said, you can evaluate. You can sit back and evaluate. Wait a minute. You can say to yourself, I like Michael and I like Charles a lot. And they're cute and I'm more attracted to them. But Daniel has more money. He's more settled. He's more mature. And he's more into me. So even though I'm not as physically attracted to him, he's more in line with the goals I want for myself. Right? So it's just a way for you to not get too serious or hooked on anybody and to really get what you want out of life. And like I said, women and men should do this, especially if you're young. If you're young, there's no way you should be tied down to anybody. If you're young, ladies, if you're young, gentlemen, if you're in college, those are the years that you should be experiencing life and getting to know who you are. Not being tied down with somebody and being responsible for somebody else's feelings and all of that. No. Date around. If you meet somebody, you be open and honest with them and say, well, I'm getting to know a few ladies. I'm seeing a couple of people. I have friends. And if she be like, oh, no, you got to be with me, well, then that's not the one. She's not ready. She's not mature enough to see the value in having a variety and just being friends. She wants to be tied down. She probably got daddy issues. She want to tie you down. No. Pick one, try it. If it don't work, move on. But why talk or date? I don't see why you can't get that concept, Smooth. I don't understand what you're not getting. I am standing on business. But why talk or date multiple people in the same week or month? Why not, Smooth? Y'all do it all the time. Y'all do it all the time. I don't want to stay single forever. I'm just enjoying my life. I've been out of a relationship for 1 year and I have so much peace right now. Right. Once you get out of the relationship and it ended, no matter how it ended, if you just decided to move on because it wasn't working and the spark was gone, or if it was toxic and it ended, you need a breather. If depending on how long it was, and take some time to heal, take some time to enjoy life as a single person. Nothing wrong with that. Women want peace until that's all that's left. Feel me? Peace and quiet. Right. I want peace and quiet. Let me think. Why I give energy to multiple people, even conversely. Listen, I can multitask, honey. Who wants to remember multiple people's likes and dislikes, habits, bad habits, birthdays, etc.? Listen, you reading too much into it. Dating means we are not serious. It means we are getting to know each other. It means we are friends and we are hopefully developing into something else. Once it gets to that level, right? After you went on a few dates with people have you ever watched The Bachelor? Have you ever watched Love Connection? They don't just meet one person and go on one date. They set them up with 3 dates on Love Connection. And then at the end, after they have dated those 3 people, right? And then they see who they match with. And then they see if they still want to go out with that person because they made a love connection. In the dating stage, you are not doing anything in the bedroom. It's nothing serious. Okay? You are friends at that point. You're hanging out, getting to know each other. If it progresses and you decide, okay, you know what? I find myself wanting to be with you or wanting to spend more time with you even when I'm with someone else. And then I just, in those other relationships, and preferably, if it goes right, they should be dating other people too. And you should be too. And if you're not chosen, Smooth, you're just not chosen. Okay? And you have your other women to date too. I am standing on business, for real. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you guys want to settle down, and that's just because you getting older, Smooth. Now you want somebody to be your home health aide. You almost, how old are you, 40 something? You almost at that age where you need Miss Sheila to come over and make you some roast for you and the boys. Ain't nobody doing that. No, you need to marry somebody. And until you do, then you can take Miss Sheila out on Sunday for coffee and y'all can talk. Okay? It's bogus and very modern. It's not a new concept, though, Smooth. It's not a new concept. I was going to this church years ago in my 20s, and it was called, I forget the name of it. But this church was like this. All the church members did everything together. Like, if there was a church member as a carpenter, then church members then go outside of the church. They hired him. If singles, they had single men and women. Single women did things together. Single women in the church. They didn't do a lot of frolicking or whatever you want to call it with people outside the church. And what they did was, when there was a single man or a single woman, they sent them out on dates. Because the goal was to get them married, right? However, they didn't just set up 2 people or whatever. They sent them on different dates so that people could get to know each other. You know what I mean? You're far from 40 plus. You're 38. You almost 40. Please. Please, Smooth, cut it out, okay? You might as well start telling people I'm 40 years old. I'll be telling people I'm 50 years old. My sister be like, you are not 50 yet. You better hold on to those years. But I am. Shoot. I'm closer to 50 than I am to 40. 39 does come first. When will you be 39? Next year? Will you be 39 next year? But we done got off topic. Let's reel this thing back in. So the update is the person that, her name is Holly Johnson, she was taken into custody and she has been released without charges. And the case is classified as domestic related. Reports of concealed carry license, and they claim self-defense. Romeca's mother calls for accountability, and she says somebody has to pay. The police and the DA have been silent. But again, from my legal background, I can tell you this. Silence is golden when it comes to police investigations. Don't ever think that nothing is happening because they haven't said anything. Okay? Best believe those investigators are all up and through Romeca's and Carlos's social media. They're looking at messages sent between them. Okay, they got warrants for their cell phones. They're looking at cell phone messages between Carlos and Romeca. They're looking at cell phone messages between Holly and Carlos. Because a lot of cases are being put together with text messages and Facebook's accounts. That's how they're getting a lot of stuff. These days, your digital footprint is what will convict you if you're a criminal. And they're looking at all that. They're looking at Google searches. They're looking at everything right now. And it takes time to gather all that information. Like, it can be thousands and thousands of messages to go through, or pages and pages, right? And they have to go through that with a fine-tooth comb. They got a couple of detectives weeding through that stuff and looking for information that could assist them in their case and that could help them determine what type of charges are going to be brought, if any. So silence for them doesn't mean anything. For me, it means that they're investigating. They're talking to witnesses. They're seeing whose stories match. They're seeing, and not only that, they got forensics going on. They've done an autopsy on her to see if everything if the forensics, if the scene, if witness statements and any video evidence that they may be gathering, they're going to want to see if those stories match up. And that's what they'll go with. They're not going to just go with witness testimony. Oh, the people on the scene said this happened or that happened. They're out surveying the area and seeing if there's any ring cameras or any surveillance cameras in the area. They're doing all of that. So then once the DA has all the evidence together, they'll decide if they're going to charge for the incident or what charges it will be. Will it be premeditated? Because did they calculate this? Did they plan this? That would be murder one. Was it something that happened at the time? Because why did she have that with her? Why was she carrying that around? Why does she need that? Because just because she had that, we obviously know she didn't have to use it. But not only that, why was she there? The only people that needed to be at that school, that had a son at that school, was Romeca and her baby daddy, Carlos. That other girl didn't need to be there. So she can get count 2 She didn't get anything. But what the family doesn't want is for her charges to be whittled down to nothing. They want justice to happen. And justice can happen if they don't do everything, if they don't take due diligence and make sure all their I's are dotted and their T's are crossed. Yeah, he calling me toxic. I'm gonna ban him in a minute if he keep it up. Oh, you gonna be 39 next month. See? See? See what I mean? Like I said, 40. 40 years old. Stop playing with it. Join the club. Join the club. There's been a lot of outrage on social media. This case has affected a lot of people. One, because of how it happened. I think the letter that Romeca wrote to her son, I think that tugged at the heartstrings of the public. And there's been like different various GoFundMes, but the family said they don't need a GoFundMe. However, the grandmother, I guess, because a lot of times, people say, oh, they got GoFundMe. They was wearing this, they was wearing that. And people were saying that about Romeca. Oh, they need to GoFundMe, but she had on designer. And her parents and her brother, and they all said, look, we don't need that. But then, at the same time, there is a child involved who is very young. And they may have what they need today. But what about the son? He may need things moving forward. He may need therapy, long-term trauma therapy. They may want to put him in different extracurricular activities. They may want to be able to establish a college fund for him. So the grandmother has established a GoFundMe, and I will be putting that in the description. I will link to the GoFundMe if you would like to donate something to the family, because what they're trying to do is build up something to for his care and also for his future. And I'm going to donate to it. I don't mind donating to that for the son. So, but yeah, a lot of people are just up in arms. I've been seeing a lot of posts about it. Someone said yesterday that the family that they were calling for people to stop posting about it because it was triggering to them. I don't know exactly what they meant by that, because I see the family posting a lot too. The family is posting a lot. Romeca's family has come out and posted their side of the story. Her baby daddy, Carlos, the man that was at the incident on scene, his friends and his family has posted things in his defense. And it's just been a whole lot of back and forth. So, I don't know. We will be, I'm going to be watching this case and following it, and I'm going to continue to update you all on it, because I know that is something that a lot of us are invested in, seeing through and seeing that justice is served. Still no talk about if he's going to be arrested, because the witnesses said that he actually restrained Romeca before the other baby mama fired her weapon. So there's a big divide between self-defense versus a cold-blooded unaliving. And I want to know, put a 1 in the chat if you feel like it was self-defense. Put a 2 in the chat if you feel like it was a cold-blooded unaliving. So, Romeca was a mother, a daughter, a friend, and not just a victim. 31 is very young. I can't imagine she thought that she would lose her life that day. especially due to the man that she had a child with. They loved each other at one point, even though things had gotten bad between the two. At one point, they loved each other, and I'm quite sure she didn't think that it would come to this end. Although she did say that she was afraid of him. And, you know, so I'm very interested to see justice happen. And for me, justice would be a thorough investigation with evidence that supports charges or that supports self-defense. And it should be clear and cut. It shouldn't be any, oh well, we can't find the missing details. You know how sometimes these detectives try to come out and act like, oh, well, there's no evidence and we are still investigating. The case is still open. We don't have what we need. No, we don't want to hear that. There are plenty of witnesses involved. You know that something happened. You just don't know if it was self-defense or not. Should concealed carry protections cover situations like this? Do you think that people should be able to use the excuse that they had a permit to carry? And do you think people should be able to have concealed weapons? Do you think that people should be able to have weapons outside their homes, right? And be able to do that, to defend themselves their way? I feel like Romeca was the one who was, she was the one who really was on the losing end either way, even without the weapon. It was 2 against 1. It was 2 against 1. It was Romeca against a man. You know, the man is bigger than both of them, right? So it was her against the baby daddy and the baby mama. So you mean to tell me both of them couldn't handle Romeca's tiny little self? That's weird. And also, here's the other issue. She let off 3 rounds. She let off 3 rounds. 1 to her face, 1 to her thigh, and I think 1 to her stomach. She didn't have to do that 3 times. She didn't have to do it 3 times. So that was my issue, and that's the issue that a lot of people are having. If he was right there, why the baby mama couldn't run and get away? Like, I feel like even if you have a weapon, you should take every precaution and every opportunity to free yourself of the situation before you do that. Every reasonable opportunity, right? Now, if somebody is on you and doing something to you, but if your baby daddy already had her in a headlock, that lets me know you had an opportunity to get away. How can we protect women caught up in disputes like this? Like, what can we do to prevent things like this from happening? Romeca was said to have a restraining order. The baby mama was said to have a restraining order. I don't know what the case is, but how do we protect women from being involved in things like this? Women, what can you do to protect yourself? Also, do you think that charges will eventually be filed? Do you think that they will eventually charge the baby mama and the baby daddy, or the baby daddy? Do you think they would be charged in this case? I'm not sure. Hi, Shaquila Dixon. How you doing? Thanks for tuning in. I have to ask, did you hit the like button on your way in? I hope you did. We're breaking down and doing a deep dive into the Romeca Meeks-Blackmon case right now, just talking about how women can be better protected when they're in situations like this where this doesn't happen to somebody else. This, I don't want to see it happen to another woman. I don't want to see another woman involved in a case like this, because this can always go either way. It can go either way. When people have their feelings on the line, it can go either way. And once somebody's life has been taken, there's no going back. It's over with. And then now you have to go to jail. That person is not here anymore for you to say, you know what, I'm sorry. It's over with. You're hoping that they would charge the baby mama and the baby daddy. That's what a lot of people are hoping, Shaquila. The case has a lot of holes. You still think it was a setup? It was something. It's two different stories going on. One was she dropped her son off at school and they approached her, and she has said in various Facebook posts that he was showing up to her job and showing up to her school, attempting to assault her, and she said she moved on. They're not together. Why is he bothering her? And then on the other end, they're saying that he was dropping the kid off at school and she showed up. It doesn't make a lot of sense. It doesn't at all. And that's why, like I said, I want to see the investigation suffice. I want to see them show either way what happened. If it's for self-defense, if it's for a charge, I want to be able to, hear about the evidence that's available, because that's the only way we'll be able to get to the bottom of this case. Thank you for hitting the like button. I appreciate you, Shaquila. Did I hear the witness speaks on the other YouTube channel? I did hear that. I didn't watch it all, but she said she was on the bus and she could see them when she was getting off the bus arguing, and she said she saw what happened. But what I said about that witness is, I don't know how credible she is, because why would you be talking about the case? This isn't an open case, and her witness testimony may end up in court, but if she's going around talking to blogs, it won't be able to be used. So we don't know what she really seen. We don't know if she recorded from the beginning to the end or how much it's on that tape. We don't know if that exists. So, and plus that witness put that video all over social media. So, I have to think about that person's character and if they're really telling the truth with what they say happened. The witness said the mom was dropping off the baby. Okay. Because some people were saying something different. But she has said that he was showing up to the school. So, and you know what, Jazzy? If they planned it, I'm sure they had text messages about it. I'm sure they can even see if he had been looking up her social media. They'll be able to tell all of that. It's so many things that they can do these days to assist in investigation. It's like you can't get away with anything. They'll be able to see. In Chicago, they have a lot of cameras out. Remember when that happened with Jussie Smollett? Because of all the crime that happens there, they have lots of cameras. They were able to see those guys that were involved in the Jussie Smollett hoax. They were able to see them get dropped off near the area. They were able to follow them on cameras from the time they got dropped off on the Uber all the way to the incident. It was one camera where the incident happened at, and they even saw footage of Jussie and the guys in that same spot before before that same night, and the camera wasn't on. So they actually went in a blind spot and did what they did. But after the incident, they had video footage of those two guys, the Ansandero brothers. I think I'm saying their name right. They had footage of them leaving the scene with Jussie, and they showed them walking down a few blocks and getting into another cab. And then then had access to who they got into the car with, and it showed the route that they took. I think maybe they got that from Uber or whatever. The route that car took, it showed that it exactly where it took them, and it showed them getting out, and the video cameras picking up again, and then them walking home. That's how they were able to find out who they were. By that digital footprint, by surveillance cameras, they were able to track them by that, and they went right to their house and they just did a surveillance. But right after that incident happened, they ended up going to Africa for a couple of weeks. So they didn't say anything. They didn't say they had people or none of that. Remember that? They didn't say that they knew who did it. They didn't say anything. They just waited till they got back to the States, and then they went and raided their house and got them. Yeah. So time will tell. We shall see. And I think probably, the DA and the investigators, they are keeping everything close to the vest. They are not really speaking out about anything, so we don't really know. Subscribe to my channel for updates, guys, so that when new developments arise, we can come back together and talk about this. I know I'm very interested in this case for a number of reasons, mostly because I have a heart and I just feel like it's senseless what happened. And secondly, because I just feel like as a woman, I know what it is to be involved with somebody that you really love but might be toxic. I also know as a mom what I would want for my daughters, and I would want them to make good choices. And I try to keep my girls schooled. I try to tell them about what red flags to look for and to make good decisions when they're choosing somebody. We're all praying for justice for her, Shakila. That's sweet of you. Romeca deserves for justice for her and her son. She deserves to have her story stay in the media just like anybody else. This doesn't happen often for people who look like Romeca. So I'm glad that her story is getting out. I'm glad that they will be held accountable, because there's a lot of people who are invested in seeing this through, not just her family. There are a lot of people in the public who want to see this come to the right resolution. So we're hoping that happens and praying that happens for her. Say her name, Romeca Meeks. Let's keep her story alive until justice is served. Thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you guys all for engaging in this conversation with me, and I appreciate you all for your likes and your subscriptions to my channel. I am MMG, the Mommy Money Getter over here. I do shopping. I do a lot of lifestyle content. I like to make funny shorts and trending shorts. I like to talk about content creation and any and everything that comes to mind. Hot trending topics and things and cases like this that just galvanize the public, right? The general public, that have us all talking and wondering and just at a loss for words and just wondering how does this happen? I hate how they're spinning so many narratives of Romeca. We need all the truth, not just split videos of her. That doesn't give us a right. This case is very complex because I saw all those videos as well. And It does paint a picture. But again, until the detectives and the DA come out and present all the evidence, either way, whether it's, you know, whether they decide it's self-defense or whether they decide to charge Holly Johnson, the public should know what evidence they have. And, her family should be able to put it to rest one way or the other. And, I don't know how soon that's going to come. But we'll see. We will see. And I'll keep you guys posted and updated. Much love. God bless. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow. I got lots of shopping content that I haven't finished editing. I got lots of shorts too coming up this week. So definitely stay tuned to my channel and please support. You can support just by viewing my channel and hitting that like button and leaving a comment. I appreciate it all, though, just by you being here and just by you following and subscribing to my channel. It means a lot to me. And I hope I'm giving good content. If I'm not, I got an email in my profile, okay? And you can send me a message, even if you send it to me anonymous. Then you can say, you know what, MMG, I like when you do this, but I don't really like when you do that. Maybe you don't want to do this anymore, but maybe you want to do more of that. Or I like all your content. I take positive and negative criticism. It all helps. But your girl is sleepy. I've had a long weekend. And I have a long week ahead of me. And I'm excited about it. Much love to you all. Have a good night. Good night, Jazzy. Good night, Shakila. Good night, M3, if you're still here. Good night, Smooth. Good night, Mom. Thank you, Shakila. I appreciate that. I appreciate you as well. Have a good night, guys.